Dr. Mann, good morning. It's been an exhausting week for all. Let me get to the single point estimate of Citigroup and where you think this unemployment rate will go. What should we see this morning at 8:30?
Well, I mean, I think there's a range of numbers that are going to potentially come out here, but I think what's more important is, you know, frankly, it almost doesn't matter what the number is because the range is so large. I think what matters is to think about where we are going forward. I mean, I think the market is priced in a really bad number. They're expecting action by the Fed to actually deploy some of the programs that they've put into place, a really dramatic set of programs that they've put into place. It's time to, the market is expecting some action to be done with that program. So in some I think the number is really not going to be a key element here. It's going forward. What happens to people who are furloughed, who think of them as furloughed? Do they stay furloughed, or do they end up getting fired? So I think we have to look beyond the number that everybody knows is going to be the greatest since
Right.
The Great Depression.
Catherine Mann, economics, Dr. Mann, out of Brandeis, at OECD, and now at Citigroup, has always been a courageous economics. I hear that from Gita Gopinath at the IMF, was making real clear more is needed. Do you agree with Dr. Gopinath that there's been an undermeasurement of the fiscal impulse that's needed and we need more now?
So I think we have to distinguish between what's been done in a lot of countries that represents filling the hole. In other words, we have an extended period of time here when there's no economic activity, people are not earning income, there's no revenue on business side simply because of the shutdowns. So what we have so far is to fill that hole. There's nothing yet about stimulus, really, because there isn't, people are not able to go out. So we're pre-stimulus in terms of what fiscal and monetary policy are doing. And I think that there's an issue about targeting. I think there's an issue about what are we going to do going forward that's going to put into place the capability of the economy to make up the hole. Filling the hole is one thing, but according to our projections, and I think that they're generous, I think that when we come out of this next year, the virus is contained and we have growth resume next year, we still will have lost GDP from the level of GDP compared to January of this year. And that loss in GDP, the stuff never made up, I think that's a real problem because that is the experience post-great financial crisis. And of course, the damage associated with lost GDP is something that is associated with productivity growth. It's with young people not having a wage profile of their elders, these sorts of things.